and Comedy Jonah.
Here we
Hello.
are. We're back, baby. Back and lots to talk about. Holy
Chat,
crapola.
chat will love that John and I were just talking about how we just want an hour with Bailey postseason.
Just an hour. Yes.
Just give us Bailey. I think everyone agrees that's all we need. So if you want to make sure that you don't miss that, make sure that you're follow, liked, and subscribed. Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, all of those things. And share the show. Tell a friend, tell a family member. You're the best little marketers and supporters that we all have, so make sure that you do that. I just realized I still have the blanket on me because I'm cold, and that's okay, because that's just me.
No.
And we wore black today. We're like black twins.
Well, we're black because of Spicy's exit.
A funeral, yes.
It's
yes,
a funeral.
Exactly. Don't forget to visit our website, yourrealityrecaps.com, for the past 12 years of our shows. All the current stuff is over on our YouTube. And of course, our Discord is where the party's at every day. Just because the season's over doesn't mean we're going everywhere. We're live every day on YouNow. We're live every day on Twitch. And we're live every day in Discord. And we watch movies and just get crazy Comedy Jonah.
Crazy, crazy, crazy.
It's a crazy time. We weren't here last week. There was, there's emergencies. There's a lot of life emergencies. So just quickly,
Right.
What did you think of that double eviction? I mean, it was a waste, right?
It kind of was. I mean, it wasn't. We knew it was going to happen, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
By Avery. Just go. Just go. And and that's it. And Avery left. And again, like I said, live every day. I feel like we've talked about it on all of the daily shows, what we thought of that double. I just wanted to let you have a moment if there was anything you wanted to say specifically about it.
No, I mean, as far as that week, I love a good 80s fitness.
Sure.
When they were all like in their 80s. But, it's kind of exaggerated 80s, right? Because I was in the 80s, and there was some neon. I don't think that much neon, but, there was, Wake Me Up Before You Go, all of that stuff. But I love a good, toss back to the 80s. I loved that. Yeah. But other than that, yeah, it was kind of uneventful.
I mean, if you're using a double eviction to get out Avery when, Anthony is there, especially to know what's about to happen to you next, Spicy. Just the flippantness of it all. The way that Spicy didn't even care to win. And it's just very, I don't know.
Well, I have a different opinion about that.
Okay, go ahead. Well, here, can I just say this first?
Say anything you want.
Here's my facial expression during my entire exit interview with Spicy.
Oh, see, I haven't seen that. I saw her, exit this week, of course, but I was just talking about, throwing that rogue vote to Avery is what
really sealed her deal.
It did. However, listen, I am not much of a flip-flopper as far as, I'm pretty good as far as that was a dumb move. You shouldn't have done that, yada, yada, yada. This season, I've been flip-flopping. When Spicy gave that rogue vote to Avery, I was like, what are you doing? You know how sensitive Bailey is. However, her and Avery were super tight. She knows Avery's going into jury. She gives her a rogue vote. She's basically saying, you were my number one, and I love you, and I proved it to you to the end so that you can campaign the jury house for me when I'm sitting in final two. That's what I eventually came to. And I thought that, okay, I get maybe that was her thinking with that.
Yeah, here's the thing. Spicy just felt so comfortable in this game. She felt she could do whatever she wanted. She felt like Anthony was gonna be there for her. She felt safe everywhere. She, in my opinion, felt untouchable and felt like, this whole game. Yeah, she was just coasting the whole game. She's been dancing in that room every day. Like, I'm off the block. If you're that level of comfortable that you can walk up into a room and do a cheer by yourself, number one, the fact that you're doing it by yourself should be a hint for you. And two, you should never feel that safe in the game. You're just, and don't get me wrong, because this is what I've said the whole time. Spicy made this season worth watching. Without Spicy, the season would have been horrifically boring. I'm just mad. I'm mad at Spicy for not keeping the girls together, for not going after Anthony, for giving up the girls' alliance for Anthony. All of it, I'm just mad at Spicy, and only because I love her so much and I know what potential she has. And I just feel like the first time she played, she didn't know what she was doing. She came back this time with that knowledge going, I'm going to be loyal to one person and play to the fans. And I think those were her two goals this season, and it didn't work out well. I think the third time she comes back, she's going to go, I'm not going to play to fans, I'm going to play for myself.
Well, I think she did play to the fans up until her eviction, right? I think she was doing pretty good. Yeah, she was. And, I think, she was super loyal to Dougie, but I think her game got sloppy, right? And I think whatever her intention was with that vote for Avery, I'm just going to go, because I don't know, I'm not Spicy. I'm going to go with the fact that she threw that rogue vote to Avery so that she could campaign, because we watched the Jury House, right? And we saw Avery going, that's my girl, that's my girl. Gave her the vote. You're going to campaign for me if I'm sitting in final two with Dougie. Goose was right. Anybody sitting next to Spicy is going to lose, right? And so he was absolutely right with that. But I don't think what she counted on, because you've got to be 3, 4, 5 steps ahead, is that if I do this rogue vote and Bailey finds out, as sensitive as Bailey and always, looking and being curious and everything, I think she needed to put that fire out with Bailey immediately. But I think you're right. She felt safe and didn't think she needed to. And that, to me, is where her game started to get sloppy and unraveling, because Bailey did it. Bailey is the one that basically sealed her deal, her fate this week. Yeah.
And that's what is so frustrating to me. And that's kind of what I kept trying to drill into Spicy over and over in the exit interview is I don't get it. Bailey was your number one for most of this season. Now, she kind of negates it by being like, I don't know what the edit showed, but I wasn't as close to Bailey as I'm being led to believe that people think I am. I'm like, really? Okay.
How did you get through that interview? It's like, you stop playing
She's
the game
delusional.
with me. Stop playing the game with me. I wasn't in the house. Like,
that's what I wish we could say. I hate, and let me
Yeah.
tell you, I hate when we do these interviews that we have to stick to the script. Like, you have to submit the script ahead of time and you can't deviate from it. So I
Yeah.
always look like a moron when I'm like, here's the question. You've answered. Well, now I have to ask it again, even though I already know your answer, but I'm not allowed to deviate from the script. It's so hard to write a script because there are like things that you want to know, but then if she answers them somewhere, whatever. So,
I
yeah.
understand what you're saying. Yeah, I've interviewed.
She's
I
not.
totally get it.
She's not owning it. And my other biggest thing with her was so, like I said, Bailey's your number one this whole game. Anthony was able to undo that in 2 conversations in 1 day. Your relationship wasn't stronger with. Let me let you know, Stacey. Your relationship was stronger with Bailey. Had you tried, in my opinion, you could have gotten her back. Those were your 2 closest allies. Last week, you guys were cheering in that room. We did it. We won. We're getting that side out. Now, I will say...
We have the numbers. We have the numbers.
Like, have a conversation. However, I will say, Courtney did bring up a very good point. I still don't think it's that great of a point, but it is of note.
Leave Courtney alone.
If you look at the timestamps from the dailies, now I know that you are a casual viewer, so I am not revealing anything that I'm not allowed to reveal because there is timestamps on the feeds which are public information, okay? So Spicy was evicted on Monday or Sunday night. April
Yes.
29th. What was that?
Right.
That was Sunday night. So I understand. Okay, Monday. She
Monday.
only had like 2 days to campaign. It's not like our Big Brother. For some reason, this year, which you can tell by the dailies, and this is not me revealing anything secret, you just have to understand days of the week. Evictions are happening like 2 days earlier, 1 day earlier. It's not happening in
So
real
they can
time
get that content. So they can we can see
Yeah,
the
they need
content
time.
and see how
Yeah.
they were campaigning and all of that stuff.
Right. So, like, the veto ceremony in theory, not in theory, the veto ceremony happened on Sunday. Spicy was voted out on Monday, like gone Monday. So I do understand she really had less than a day then essentially to campaign.
Did she need any more?
But then I'm like, again, you had a relationship with these people your whole game. Pull them aside. I don't care. You could be like, fuck you, production. The whole show is fucking edited. Yeah. You're gonna wait to do your eviction until I get to have a conversation with these two people. It's not like you're playing for $5. You're paying for hundreds of thousands of dollars in cash and prizes. Go have a conversation. You had time to lay in the bed and whatever
and
it was you did.
Cry and all that stuff. What I don't understand, is the fact that, even talking to Anthony and saying, I don't care about these people. I don't care how edited the show is. You said it. You know what I mean? Like, that's not an avatar of you. That's not an avatar of you saying that. Like, you said it. You know what I mean? Like, and I get that she was doing that, but, I get her reasoning as far as, I had to, you were my number 2, Anthony, but I also had to play my own game. But she got caught. She was trying to have somebody else get Anthony out, which I don't understand because on some point I just think, you know what, is Anthony now going to be a huge target? This is the final week. I guess this is a great thing for him to get Spicy out because we only have a week left of game, right? So, but doesn't that put a big target on him? I mean, he needs to win everything now, right?
I think it was stupid on Anthony's part. I think Spicy always was taking him. I think Anthony is haunted by the ghost. He's haunted by the ghost of his first game where he brought Dane to the end and he lost to Dane. So I think he doesn't want to bring Spicy to the end. He knows Spicy can beat him. And he's also not stupid. He realizes it's it. It's right now, and there's only one more week of game. I might as well just get rid of her now.
But wouldn't it be stupider if he's sitting next to Bailey to lose to a newbie?
Well, I don't think his ego is able to process that he would lose to a female.
Ooh, we got some good Dougie quotes this week too. Ooh.
I agree. Right after Todd won veto, he should have gone. Right after Todd won veto, Spicy should have gone to Todd and Bailey and said, it doesn't matter who goes up, Lexus is going. She should. She doesn't have that, like, Spicy's game, and this is where I'm critical of it, was not as... Anthony controls everything, controls your narrative, tells you what you're thinking, tells you what the other people are thinking. He doesn't let you veer from his script of what he wants. Spicy is very like, loosey-goosey, it is what it is. I'm not feeling the vibe over here, so I'm not going to go talk to you. I feel I don't know, maybe.
Flips out. She's an emotional, just like Anthony says, she's an emotional player.
Right, well, she flips out because she's the type of person, I married one of these people, who they keep, like, everything in their head, and they don't say anything, and they just think it all in their head, and then they, like, have a temper tantrum when, like, it didn't work out the way that they kept in their head and didn't communicate with anyone. Yeah. Sorry, I'm having my own issues.
There's a little more there than
gameplay. They have therapy right now. Anybody should be dragging Lexus to the end, so I get it. But here's my thing, specifically for Anthony, I don't know how Anthony doesn't see that everything Bailey has done is for Todd, and everything Todd has done is for Bailey. So he has to, I believe, understand that neither of them are going to take him to the end. So
Right.
in my mind, his fear was greater that he would lose to Spicy. Like, the fear is he has to win the POV this week or he's going home, or he makes it to the end being taken there by Spicy or himself or Bailey or whoever, but will lose to that person. And he said his fear, in my mind, he has to have thought, my fear is bigger that I will lose to Spicy. Spicy
Right.
is the biggest threat in this game.
Well, it is too. And like, even if there was some magical way for him to save Spicy but still look good to Bailey, Todd, and Alexis, he should have kept her, right? And
Yeah.
because if he's sitting next to them, and let's say, Bailey and Todd are in jury, they're going to tell everybody, Spicy said all this crap and she manipulated us and she did. Dougie was honest with us. Yeah, Dougie played the game, but that's what we're all there for, to play the game. I think they could have been good jurors, campaigning for Anthony if he was final two with Spicy. However, there was just no way to save her at that point. All three of them, of the newbies left, would have turned on both of them.
I agree. And not for
Yeah.
another reason Anthony is stupid in this is Spicy, as you said, Anthony, controlled that house. You know what next house Spicy is going to control? Is the jury house.
I know.
So she's like, I'm not going to be a bitter juror. She's a bitter juror. Let me let you know right now.
We knew it
But-
on the exit interview with Arissa. We knew it.
But here's the thing also, I don't blame Spicy. Anthony sitting up there acting like he did this for any other reason other than I don't think I could have beaten you is bullshit. I love that Spicy is not letting Anthony just whip out these bullshit excuses of, oh, you said this one comment and that one comment, as if he's allowed to play the game, but she's not allowed to play the game. Spicy said, you're just sitting on all this ammunition and you're
Yeah.
just making up reasons. Just own it. Just own your game and I'll respect it. But he is not owning his game, and Spicy flat out said, I'm not going to vote for you if you don't own your game, and I'm
Right.
going to turn the jury against you for not owning your game. So
Right.
that I love. I hope that is
Yes.
if Anthony makes it to final two, I hope that is the downfall of his game. However, I don't think Anthony's making it to final two. I don't think so at all.
I don't either. And what you were talking about has been a thread between Spicy and Anthony all season long, right? Like, Spicy's been out there, she's been playing her game, but she's been loyal to Anthony. Anthony hasn't owned anything. And then when he wants to make a decision, he reaches, and sometimes really reaches,
Yeah.
for information to maneuver everybody. And she's called him on it before. And he's denied it, and now here was the time to really do it. And yeah, I love the fact that she's not letting it go either, because he's just like, you're my baby sister. You're my baby sister.
He'll be
I
my
love
sister
you."
after this all the time. She's like, no, we're not. We're not. I'm annulling
I never
this
wanna see
family.
him again.
Well,
Getting emancipated.
I'm gonna get a time machine and tell my mom to swallow.
I'm
I
going
don't
to
know.
court getting emancipated. So I'm not gonna
That's
do
what I was looking for. Emancipated. I couldn't think of the word. I mean, I love that Spicy is not going to let him back down from
Oh,
this,
it's
and
gonna be a battle.
I just find it funny that Anthony isn't owning it though. Like, not even in the DR. Like, is he taking himself seriously? Like, when he sits in the DR, is like, Spicy, you soiled my game. You soiled her game.
I mean, soiled. If somebody's looking at the camera and says, it's hard to be perfect, sometimes you need to turn your back on the audience to lead the orchestra.
I'm leading the orchestra right
I
now.
was like, how does your head get through the door?
Well, don't get me wrong. Like, not for
I love the
nothing,
Anthony quotes. I love the Anthony quotes.
I will say this. I think Anthony understands that we're making television and that
Right.
he's the villain and he's
he's
purposely playing it up.
And they are there to make content. right?
Yeah, so like I get that he's doing it. So to that same point, I said I want someone to take that. I hope someone takes that close up of his face where he's like, "I'm the greatest person to ever play this game," and then they cut in Narissa going, "And by a vote," and then cut back to him. I'm gonna dominate and I'm winning this game. And then cut back to Narissa.
So hard to be
You've been
perfect.
evicted. You've
It's
been
so
evicted.
hard to be perfect. And by a vote of 0 to 2, Anthony, you've been evicted.
So
Or
hard to
one,
be
or whatever.
perfect at
Yeah.
this game. Yeah,
Oh
that
my
would have been one. But
gosh.
yeah, it's
So
just,
wonderful.
I hope that that is what will end up happening. I hope that's what will end up happening. I don't get it. I don't
Okay.
get Anthony not owning his game. And, I tried with Spicy in that interview to really nail her down on why wouldn't you work with the girls? Why was Anthony so important to you? The good thing is, I'm going to be just as hard on Anthony when he gets out. And then we don't have to stick to the script. So I can't wait
Right.
to do that interview.
But I mean, I was looking at the overall picture in the beginning. Two, VPs coming back into the game wouldn't have been what a season if they both were final two. The fact that Spicy never sat on the block is absolutely amazing. The fact that they were still there all this time shows what great gameplay they both have as far as manipulating and maneuvering and all of that stuff. No, and I mean, it's absolutely amazing. But I just think Anthony just made a really, he made a dumb move because what's the biggest thing we preach, whether it's US, whether it's Canada, it's jury management. And I think him owning his game and coming clean with Spicy, getting her comfortable and happy while she goes to the jury house, right? It's all about jury management. He didn't do it. That's such a big no-no, and we've seen it get thrown back at great players in the past.
I mean, I think Spicy has done a far worse job of her jury management. That's what scared me if Spicy was, her, goodbye speech to Kayla was like, "You suck, bitch. So glad that you're gone. Ha ha. Pinned everything on you, loser moron. Ha ha ha. Have fun in the jury house, you big idiot." And I'm just like, how is that a good goodbye message to her? Like, what are you doing? And then same thing with Goose. She's like, "Too bad, so sad, quack, quack, you're crazy like a dog, die in the jury house, never see you again, bye." And I'm like, this is the last impression you're leaving with these people?
As they go to jury to vote for the winner that you're trying to win.
I think it has to be so weird to be in that house, mic'd, all those cameras, all those lights, and then be taken to someone's bed and breakfast in the middle of the woods.
Oh yeah.
And it doesn't even seem like they have a film crew this season. It seems like they're just recorded on an iPhone. We'll just put one of those fake borders around it. Just we don't need a crew anymore. Just use the iPhone.
Have an iPhone 14. Okay.
Here's the scene. We're going to show you guys by the pool, and we want you exercising, and then Goose walk away.
Now, Goose, pretend like you're bird watching. I need you in frame more.
Remember when jury footage was exciting? Me too. And then Avery comes in. We have 10 seconds of Avery. All we wanted was to watch Avery and Kayla confront each other now.
Yeah.
Here's your big moment. They're together for 15 seconds, and then let in Tola. "Oh, yeah, it's me, Tola." I'm like, could we have had a little more Avery and Kayla?
I know.
Hello? I guess not.
I needed a big moment of "I told you so." You know what I mean? I needed the "I told you so."
No, we didn't get it.
We didn't get it.
I didn't get it. I did like how, actually, it was, Marcy says, actually, it was filmed on the all-new Samsung Galaxy 24. Exactly. How did I forget that it was an ad for the Samsung Galaxy? Duh. Yeah, just the Jury House footage was disappointing. I also wonder, is what they're showing us really what they're showing them? Because I feel that that's very revealing, you know?
Yeah.
In other words, if they get to really see Spicy go 1, 2, 3, 4, oh God, that's not what I meant to put. You know, showing Spicy
No, it wasn't
throwing.
that. It wasn't what I meant to put. It was like, oh my God, I cannot believe I won, and I was really trying to lose.
Right. And I think
Yeah.
Avery, as Spicy's number one, seeing that, if I'm in jury and I'm seeing where technically no one else is allowed to have that view, what an eye-opening view to me. Like, you were my number one. You weren't trying to win to save me. You were upset that you lost and did it. Like, I thought we were going into that trying to win so that we were both safe. Like, that would make me feel away. So it's interesting if they're really seeing it that way, or if they're just like, we don't want to edit it again, so here's the edit that we, already
Right.
showed you.
Well, I just love them all sitting in that little living room area going, well, I had a final two with her. You had a final two with her. Really? I did too.
Give me a break.
Yeah, because
Give me a break.
Anthony didn't have one like with Todd. You know what I mean? Like eventually him and Bailey, got close, and then final two, final two. He was just a little smoother with his game than Spicy, and I think that sloppiness just kind of catches up. And I think,
Right.
boy, I think she really is regretting that vote for Avery.
Well, again, it just goes back to speak to Spicy's game. And, it is different than an Anthony game. And that's the other part where, like, Anthony needs to own it, or it's hard for me to respect what Anthony says because, like, I get it. Anthony's looking for a reason. You need a reason. He's just finding any reason to use to justify getting Spicy out. So it's not just, he doesn't have to say the
Right.
real reasons. But he knew all along that that was Spicy's game style, like that's the way that Spicy plays the game. And I think he was always prepared to use this against her because he was fine with her going back and forth. He was fine with her playing both sides. And let's not forget, even going back to the executive POV or the week after that,
Yeah.
he was very much like, I want to make a move against Spicy. I don't trust Spicy. Spicy. So it's been weeks of you two, Anthony, trying to go for Spicy,
yeah.
putting seeds for Spicy. Just because when you went into the GR, they were like, okay, if you're going after Spicy this week, we need to really go heavy on the edit, so let's make it seem like you're really pushing it this week. Doesn't mean that we all didn't see you doing it for the past 3 weeks.
Right.
So, again, Anthony not owning his game
Right.
is the disconnect for me. That to me is the only thing that I don't
And I
like.
get that. And I think that with all the sloppiness and your name's been in my mouth and you were trying to get, people to nominate me and vote me out and get me out, with no blood on your hands. Of course, there's so much information and lies. If he could just grab anything. We watched him say stuff. We watched him make up stuff, all of that stuff. To sit there as such a strong game player as Spicy is, to sit there and listen to the bullshit, like excuses that you would give a newbie, I think would be kind of offensive. And it's just like, own your shit.
Well, which is why she broke that glass.
Oh, I know. That was so funny.
I said she should have thrown it at his head.
I would have thrown it. I would have Joan Crawford that thing across the room.
It's just funny to me, like, what gets people kicked out of the Big Brother house versus what doesn't get people kicked out of the Big Brother house. And this is a testament to why they don't have live feeds. If they would have had live feeds, if people would have watched on the live feeds, people would have been screaming and crying for her eviction from the show. It's violence. Someone could have died. Glass on the floor. Now they don't have to deal with any of that. They can just slip it in the edit and Spicy's gone. And that is the reason we'll never get live feeds back, at least for Canada.
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Because they loved not having to deal with everyone, on Twitter calling for the, cancellation of the show and because Victoria threw a glass.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
And Anthony, Anthony getting like all loud and like he's upset over a glass breaking. Anthony, give me a break, girl. Like
You're
you're
my
doing too
sister.
much. You're
You're my,
doing too much.
you're
You're
my
doing too
sister.
much.
You're my klutzy sister.
You're my klutzy sister. You loved it. You really loved it. Um, I just, again, Spicy had time to break the glass, to go into the bathroom. I do love how her rebuttal to Anthony was a lot of, it was like, okay, Spicy, I mean,
Yeah.
little less glass breaking, little less, and how about you just take all that time, go to Bailey and Todd, and instead of just being like he's a little bitch liar, you actually lay out for him how he's been playing them all game. And it wasn't until this week that he wanted you out because he knows he can't beat you and them, that this is the narrative that he's doing. Like, again,
That was
you had all the
disappointing.
information. I understand you don't have 3 days. I'm sure you could have explained it in 30 minutes.
Well, that was
And
disappointing. I don't feel like she fought for herself at all.
no, I don't. No one's gonna convince me that she fought for herself, and I gave her every opportunity today to say that she fought for herself, and she literally was just like, "Nah, I didn't. I didn't have time. Too busy.
What?
Didn't."
I was too busy laying around. My schedule
Throwing
was
glasses
full.
and
My schedule was full. I had a nap. I'd have a nap.
I was making good TV. I know, but I would just rather you be there. And here's the other thing. I think, and this is the hardest for me to say, because you know that I am somebody who is like production manipulation, production manipulation, production manipulation. There's no point where I can believe that if production could pick what they want, that they were like, you know what? We can go into finale guys versus girls. It's been the theme of the season. Anthony versus Victoria. All this stuff. And they're just going to throw that all away for Anthony and Lexus. We want the Lexus show. Lexus is going to be the target on the final week going into this. Lexus. You could have had such an epic finale week of a battle between Spicy and Anthony. And the fact that clearly production did nothing to try and push people or change people's minds or make stuff happen, it's very disappointing. And it's made me think that there is no more production manipulation. I'm sorry I ever said the words production manipulation, and I would like production manipulation to come back.
If it's ever even real.
Yeah, just bring it back.
Allegedly.
I also love when Lexus was like, "Thank you guys for helping to bring out the more exciting version of me."
Emotional, because I'm not I'm not emotional.
I literally ran to Twitter and put, "This is the more exciting version of Lexus." This version? How did she get cast? What was that interview like? Hello, I'm here to interview with you. This is my Lexus impression. Here's Lexus 90% of this game. No.
Yeah.
I dated Drake.
Another dumb moment from this week was the Toddinator at his PV ceremony.
Todd, I need you to stop yelling. Go ahead.
Hey guys, I haven't really been in the knowing what this game was about, or kind of basically saying he was a floater up until a few weeks ago when he started winning. What are you talking about?
Everyone thinks I'm dumb.
Well, he's not, because he's there and he's winning. Like I've always said, because I love my Toddinator. But I don't understand why he basically called himself a floater at Final Four. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're the first.
He wasn't saying he was a floater. He's saying I didn't understand the game. I didn't have a love for the game, but now I love it and understand it.
Basically, I was floating until I learned the game, and then I started winning in the last 2 weeks. Where you've got super fans like Bailey, you've got super fans like Anthony, and it's just like, I'm like, I would have looked at him like, oh, I don't care. You're my effing target. Ugh. Oh, now you just learned the game. Oh my
I'm
gosh. Oh, great. Thanks.
I'm really smart, and I want everyone to know that they don't know that I know what I'm gonna do if I get power. And that's what I said for the last 3 weeks, is that everyone should look out and if I get power. And then I had the executive power and I did not do
Yeah.
that anything. And then I had the power of veto and I did not do nothing. And now I have it again and I'm gonna do something, but it's
We'll take
Anthony
myself
something.
off.
It's Anthony something, and I'm very smart.
I mean, isn't Anthony gonna be a little freaked out because, okay, Todd is winning a lot. We're seeing what Todd can do, right? And so he's a good competitor in the comps. And it's like, what if Todd wins? HOH. You're on the block. Maybe you're not on the block because he doesn't want you to play the POV. You know what I mean? Like that would be a little scary. But also too, I mean, Spicy was winning also, so I don't know.
Anthony
It's
wants Todd out. In my opinion, this
of course
week,
he does. Of course he does.
Anthony is going to do whatever it takes to get Todd out. I just think he
Yeah.
sees like Todd's a man. A man's going to be harder to beat than a woman. Todd is also won more things. I think Anthony is going to
Yeah.
push, if he has the option to get Todd out. Will it happen? Is Lexus the vote? I mean,
Yeah.
that girl doesn't have a brain in her head. So if Lexus is the one voting, she'll probably keep Anthony. She'll feel some sort of a loyalty to Anthony and she'll keep Anthony.
Oh, she will, and she'll lose.
Well, I mean, she would lose to like the fucking leftover grilled cheese sandwich on the floor. Like they could literally be like, the final two is a grilled cheese sandwich in Lexus. Jury, let's vote.
Okay.
They're all probably like, I'm hungry, grilled cheese.
It's a water bottle and it's Anthony. Who do you choose?
Well, I hate to say it. I don't like the way Anthony has played this game, but he hands down deserves to win. He's
Well,
made every decision and been
yeah,
responsible for the
but why don't you?
downfall
How
of
come you don't
every
like
person.
it? Why don't you like it?
I don't. I would have liked it if he owned it. I don't like
I
when
think he's going to
people.
own it in his final speech when the jury
Mm,
gets to ask questions and they're like, "What about this?" I'm thinking that's when he's going to come clean and be like, "Listen, here's where my frame of mind was. I was manipulating you. I had heard this information. I twisted it around. I wanted this outcome to happen and it happened." Like
I mean, yeah, if he
that's
does,
what
it'll help.
yeah, that's what I'm anticipating if he's final two.
Well,
And
he better, or he has.
I think he's gonna go head to head with Spicy. I want him to be final two just because I want Spicy to ask him a question. Like, I want to
Oh no,
see
I think
what happens.
no, 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 no. You're not thinking this through. That's only like 20 seconds. We want him out so that he has to go face her in the jury, and we get 15 minutes of arguing segment.
Oh, on a Samsung Galaxy.
Filmed on a Samsung Galaxy. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
right. Do you think like if it's Anthony and Lexus, Anthony wins, right?
Well, I mean,
We said she loses to a grilled cheese, so.
I say if it was Anthony and a water bottle. Yeah, I mean, what did Alexis do?
Yeah, Lexus is I can't see Lexus winning to anyone. I mean, I
She
don't know.
sits next to Bailey. She loses. If she sits next to Todd, she loses. Anthony,
Does
she
Todd
loses. Like,
win? Is there any world where Todd wins?
if he's sitting next to Alexis,
So the only way Todd wins is sitting next to Lexus.
yes. If he sits next to Anthony, Anthony wins. If he sits next to Bailey, Bailey wins. Whoever, those three, whoever, they need to keep Alexis. She needs to be the final two.
Well, yeah, I mean, Lexus should be being dragged all the way to the end, which I
Yeah,
think it's very clear. Anthony has always known that, and that has
of
always been
course.
Anthony's goal, is to bring
Which is smart.
Lexus to the end, because he knows he can say she's literally contributed nothing.
Yeah,
Less than nothing.
right.
Would you like a little bit of a spoiler?
You know I love a spoiler. Hello.
So who do you want to be the HOH? So keep in mind, HOH doesn't really matter other than it's guaranteed safety. Who are you hoping is your new HOH?
Bailey.
And then you are correct. So Bailey is definitely in finale.
God.
Bailey is 100% in finale. She has won this, the final, not the final HOH, but the second to last HOH. She has won it. And now again, I get it, because good Lord knows I tweeted this out and people were like, it doesn't matter who the noms are. I'm like, yeah, all right, calm down, fucking people. Thanks for explaining to me, Big Brother. Like I tweeted out, I was like, Bailey, what are you doing? Because she nominated Todd and Lexus.
Yeah.
So then everyone's like, all right, it doesn't matter. It only matters in it. I'm like, okay, calm down. What I'm saying is, let's assume Anthony wins this. You now just gave Anthony a pass to the fucking finale, never having touched the block in 2 seasons. So that's number one. So that right there was really my main point. Secondly, remember how butthurt you were that Spicy cast a vote, one little vote against you? Well, you just put Todd, your closest person, on the block.
That's a theme this season. Everybody was doing it.
So I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't understand why Bailey let him go without, like, touching the block. I don't understand what all of a sudden she's afraid of. If I'm Todd right now, I'm pissed off. Which, again, I know it doesn't matter. I know it's all semantics. But in the semantics of it, we're friends. We worked together all season. And then you just went on television and said, I nominate you, friend. It doesn't make sense.
Well, I mean, that's been a theme this whole season. And I think, is there in some weird way Bailey thinks she wouldn't win sitting next to Todd?
Does Bailey think... No, I think Bailey is smart enough to understand she wins in all scenarios.
Then what would be her reasoning by putting Todd on the block?
I don't know. I cannot wait to hear this DR. I can't wait to hear her justification for doing this. And
I'm in shock. I mean, I am in shock.
Because it's not about only the POV wins. It's about you gave Anthony another huge ammunition to use if he makes it to final 2. And by the way, Bailey, you were the person 2 weeks ago sitting in the fucking Lexus car, whatever the fuck are that, Infinity. You were the one sitting in that car being like, Anthony's the puppet leader. It's been 2 seasons. He hasn't touched the block once. He's controlling the whole game. Those were the words coming out of your mouth, Bailey.
Still not on the block.
You just helped him again. You literally just helped him again.
Ugh.
I don't get it. It's so frustrating.
I'm trying to figure out the reasoning. I'm trying to figure out what could it be. Is that the fact that she thinks she can sit next to him and win?
Maybe it's just simply she's afraid. She understands maybe production wants him to go to the end. She does this favor for him. Maybe then he'll take her over Lexus.
He won't.
No, he won't, Spicy. So stupid. But Destinies brings up a good point. There has been the theme of every week the previous HOH goes. So let's just continue that theme then. So Anthony was the last HOH, so now he's going this week. Yeah. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Get out. Woo. Go home. But I mean, we'll see. It all is going to come down to who wins the POV. We're all very hopeful. not that hopeful. Oh yeah, no. They did tell us we're getting one more daily, so we should have the answer tomorrow. We should at least know tomorrow who won the POV and if it's being used. I believe we should get that in tomorrow's daily, which is then the last daily we're getting of the season.
So then everyone will then turn into casual viewer.
Yes.
I'll be even.
Much like our very own Comedy Jonah.
So
everyone
you have to put one for you too after tomorrow's daily.
No. They will end the daily before we see who goes when Arissa comes on the screen. Yeah. They do that every season. But at least we'll know who won POV.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm in shock. I'm going to be thinking about the rest of the day. Like, why? What's her strategy? Why? Maybe just because Todd's winning them, and if he wins, he takes himself off, and then Anthony goes up.
But it doesn't matter. It only matters who wins POV.
Right. Does she know that?
Of course she knows that. It's Final Four. She's a Big Brother fan. I'm grasping. I'm scraping at the bottom of the barrel trying to figure it out. Here's what you need to do. You need to go watch the Spicy interview and just watch my face the whole time.
Oh my God, I can't wait. I'm going to watch it.
Just note the torture that there are so many things that I want to say and you're not allowed to. And it's like, that's my biggest torture of life.
Oh my gosh.
And I just have to stand there and be like, okay, Spicy. Oh God, how I wish I could just talk to you like a real person right now, but I'm not allowed. Just want to say, Spicy, what is wrong with you? Well, we need to wrap up this show for today, Comedy Jonah. But we will be back after finale. We will be interviewing the final people, like I said. So we're not done. We'll do a finale recap show. We have the interviews with the final people. And I was just telling Comedy Jonah, and I think, chat, you're going to agree if you weren't here for the beginning, really we want like an hour with Spicy, an hour with Bailey. If there's anybody else that you feel we want a post-season hour with, you all let me know. But those are really the only two that I'm thinking of that I'm going to really push for to get on here for an hour with us. But if there's anyone that any of you are dying like, oh, we need an hour with this person, let me know. I pretty much feel like Spicy and Bailey is it, though.
Yeah,
so
I agree. And maybe Donna.
Lost says, John's even a casual viewer of reality recaps. He sounds so enthusiastic to watch that Spicy interview. Well, thank you, everyone.
So I'm a casual viewer of the Discord. I'm a casual viewer.
Well, don't worry. Your mother loves us, and we talk to her all the time.
More than me, probably.
Definitely. All right. All right, everybody. We will see you all on the next show. Bye for now, everybody. Bye, friends.